Good afternoon, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and I bring you all my discussion video on Blaster, Dragon Ruler, and Infernos. This will be a quick review of this card. I think this card is very cool and very potentially powerful, but right now, I think in the modern format, this card is mid at best, and I don't think it's going to make Dragon Ruler Link that much stronger than it already is. So I'm going to discuss this card, I'm going to discuss its effect, as you can see in front of you, and we're going to go from there. So if you don't know, Dragon Ruler Blaster has been banned on the ban list since like 2014, 2015, whenever this thing got hit. And it's been sitting there for the longest time until, of course, of today, which is March 26, 2023. But in the OCG, it just came back to 1. Now, out of all the Dragon Rulers, I think this one's actually the weakest. I think even the Wind one is stronger than this for Dragoonity. Just because there's not that many fire main deck dragon monsters, which I'm going to go over in this video. But basically, I'm going to go over its whole effect and let's go from there. So what does Blaster do? For one thing first, he's a Dragon Ruler, meaning you can banish 2 fires or 2 dragon type monsters from your hand or graveyard, special summon this card, but return it during your opponent's end phase. Now, you're never going to have this thing on field. In the old days, you used to, and then it says, hey, it's a 2800 beat stick, or you made it into a Draco sack. But nowadays, this thing's going to be used as either link material, synchro material, or XY material. Now, each one of these effects are once returns, but I just kind of mentioned that first effect. The fact it can reborn itself from grave or from hand is pretty insane. And the fact it can banish either dragons or fires gives this card massive potential. Not to mention, because you're banishing the cards, you can trigger things. For example, if you're playing this card and you like to say Shiranui, you can banish the Shiranui zombies, which trigger their effects. You're able to pop cards and do other things. So, in Shiranui in particular, this is actually a very strong card in that. Other cards that can use this thing, for one, Lavals, dragons, any fire-based archetype or dragon-based archetype that dumps dragons in a graveyard and doesn't use them afterwards. Dragon Link is definitely going to be testing out with this card and definitely figuring if they can break this card into the format. Right now, Dragon Link is falling behind when it comes to the meta just because the Bestials are better used than Brandon, and even Brandon doesn't even use the Bestials. Well, they kind of do. It's kind of a hot debate on that, but we'll go on to that in a whole other video. But what are the other 2 effects that Blaster does? So Blaster has a second effect where it discards in your hand, you discard itself another fire monster, target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Now, I'm happy that it just says any card. It's not destroy 1 monster, it's not destroy 1 spell and trap. It just discard this card and pop a card on the field. That is pretty solid. Here's the issue with that. It targets and it's a -2 because you're discarding itself and another card, which really sucks. Now, what fires are you discarding? Because it doesn't say discard a dragon monster. It says a fire monster. So whatever fire monsters are you playing in your deck that you're going to get this effect off? Well, if you're playing Dragon Link, Ash is really your only option. There's not that any really good other dragon fires in the main deck besides himself. So Ash Blossom and that'll be it. And are you going to discard an Ash Blossom for Blaster's targeting destroy effect? I don't think so. Especially when you're looking upon a board of Baron and all the other atrocities that this format's going to make. Now, I can see some potential against like Kashtira because, hey, they don't have negation, so you just discard it and whatever, pop it. But even then, they have what's called Macrocosmos. This card can't even be used because I'm pretty sure it says discard this card to the graveyard. So you can't even activate the hand effect against Kashtira, which really sucks. But hey, what can you do? As for other effects, its third and final effect, which I think is the strongest effect if we had a good fire dragon archetype, which is if this card is banished, add 1 fire dragon type monster from your deck to hand regardless of level. I think that part is an amazing effect. Here's the only issue though. There is no good dragon fire monsters in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the main deck at least. In the extra deck there's plenty. But in the main deck, there actually is no good fire dragons, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to show you a list not too, soon enough, but basically, we don't have any good fire dragons. We have light dragons, we have dark dragons, and we have wind dragons. Those are the main 3 dragons, which are kind of insane. I get dark and light, I get wind, But the fact that we don't have any fire besides Blaster himself and like a couple of random suggestions, like I think one of the Flame Veils is a fire dragon, which is cool, but who cares about that? Well, I guess Flame Veils do, but that's Flame Veils. We're not talking about them. Then we'll discuss them later, but overall, there is no good fire dragon archetype, so there's not really a good search target. There's a couple of like, what's it called, the dragon maids that are fire, but those aren't good except the big one. The little ones kind of suck, so that's a one of at most. And cool, how you banish this thing in Dragon Maid, I really don't know. As for like other fire archetypes, they really don't have a banish mechanic to deal with, so I'm not even sure how you're gonna banish this card. Let's say in like Laval's, how are you gonna banish this card? I really don't know. And I think this card would be seen in Laval's just for the simple fact that it's a level 7 that's a free extender, and they dump so many things in the graveyard that it's just a free level 7 for them to make an Exer deck monster. But besides that, there really is no purpose of this card. It's just a free level 7 body that you can play. Now, don't get me wrong, searching this card is stupid easy, and dumping this card into graveyard is stupid easy. We have so many ways to dump dragons into graveyard, it's ridiculous. Dragon's Ravine. I think the Shining Soul, or whatever that spell card, that Foolish Burial is a dragon. We also have freaking Foolish Burial itself. We have so many ways to dump dragons, it's ridiculous. The only issue is, what dragons want to be banished? We have a couple, like we play Chaos Space in our deck for a reason, but I don't know if that's viable enough for Blaster to be good. You gotta tell me in the comments the like potential of these archetypes, because I'm naming them. I just don't think they're enough to make Blaster push these decks into the forefront of the meta. Now, if Blaster went to 3, or if we got actual good fire dragon archetype, I would say this card's amazing. Leave it at 1. But until Konami gives us a new fire dragon archetype, which who knows, maybe that new set that's coming out will have a new fire dragon archetype, but most likely not, because every one of those type of sets kind of don't really introduce archetypes. They kind of just give support to archetypes. For example, the water structure, the water box gave us the new Marincess cards, gave us the new Shark cards, and they gave us the new Yumi cards. If we ever got that Earth box, it gave, we never got it in the TCG, but basically it was the Amazoness cards, the Seiju cards, and the Morphtronic cards. And of course in the Wind set, it was the, what's it called? It was the Speedroid cards, it was the Fleur cards, and it was the Lyralist cards that we got, which was pretty solid in general. But either way, it was just, I don't see Konami printing a new fire archetype in that set, especially a fire dragon archetype. So we just gotta wait until we get one. Don't get me wrong, people are still gonna be playing this card. I think, like, again, Shiranui and Dragon Link are still gonna be playing this card as a good one of. But until this deck has better search targets, or just the potential is broken, I just don't think this card's that great. I'm going to show you at the end screen all the cards that we can search off this card, which isn't much, but here we go. Here's the end screen, here's all the dragons in the main deck, and yeah, ain't that much for fire types, but hey, you know what? We can search Horus. That's cool. We can search Horus, the level monster. That's really about it. Hope you all enjoy. See you all on the next one. Bye-bye.